As prom season quickly approaches, people have been wondering how are they going to ask that special somebody to prom?
Here's a few ways people have done it over the past couple of years.
What do you actually do to ask her to prom?
I had 3 of my friends hold up signs saying, "Sky Stewart, will you go to prom with me?" And then I walked in with a couple roses
Oh.
and asked her.
Sky, were you expecting him to ask you to prom?
Well, I was expecting something because he texted me all morning asking me to meet up with him, but I could never go. And then when I was in library, everyone was staring at me through the window, so.
Who are you going with?
Emily Bowers?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did you ask her to prom?
No.
No, she asked you?
Yeah.
How did she do it?
She asked me in person. She came up
Very
to me.
nice. Classy, simple?
Yes, very classy.
Very cool. You plan out asking her? Did you have any help from other people?
Yeah, I told a couple people, and then they made sure she didn't know anything about it, and then I got someone else to help me. I decorated her car.
What did you decorate her car with?
Balloons and streamers and a window marker.
Very cool. Rachel, were you expecting him to ask you to prom?
No. I was coming out of basketball practice, so I looked gross.
How were you asked to prom?
I didn't actually ask somebody to prom. I got asked to prom, and it was one of those things where I was going to ask this girl, and she asked me, but I knew she was going to ask me, so I asked to leave early from my social studies class. I don't know why, because I was too nervous, and I just got up and was like kind of sprinting, walking down the hall, and then I got, I don't know about tackled, but it was like the, "Hey, where are you going?" And then she said, "Do you want to go to prom?" And I went, "Yeah, sure." And that's the way it
How
was.
did you ask somebody to prom?
I was not asked to prom. I had a boyfriend at the time, and I told him we were going to prom together. And I told him what he was going to wear. I was very specific about what colors he needed to wear and the dress I was wearing. That was it.
When you went to prom, were you asked or did you ask somebody to go with you?
I asked somebody to go with me.
How did you ask?
Well, both proms. My junior prom, I asked my best friend to go with me, and she did. And then the senior prom, I wasn't going to go because I hated the junior prom. And then another friend of mine hated the junior prom as well. So we ended up going through this month of, oh, we're not going, we hate the prom, we hate the prom. And then all of our friends were going to go, and they were guilting us into not going. And then we both said, why don't we just go together? And we did.
It was after like our second play for Oklahoma. I got a rose, brought it to her, asked her.
Were you really nervous?
Not really.
No. Did you
I'm
have
10,000
anybody help you do it, or was
No,
it just all you?
just me.
Awesome. And was she really excited?
She seemed fairly excited.
How have you asked somebody to prom?
I took my girlfriend out to dinner, and I asked her if she wanted to go to prom. And frankly, she was not very excited because social functions are not her forte, but I eventually convinced her.
So I was in calculus, and then I was going to chemistry, and Jackie Knox was also going from calculus to chemistry. So on the way in, we were talking, and I was like, "Are you going to prom with anyone?" She's like, "No." And I asked, "Do you want to go to prom with me?" And she said yes.
So Rob, this hockey player as a junior, asked me, and I said yes. But then in the meantime, I started dating Mark, this older boy, and Mark's little brother was on the team, the lacrosse team with Mark. So they're with Rob. They're talking about their prom dates and everything. And Rob said, "I'm taking Jesse Jensen," and the brother, what was his name? Mike said, "No, she's dating my brother," and they got in a fist fight in the locker room the week before prom. So Rob says, "Forget it, I'm not taking you." His mother called my mother, and our mothers got involved and made us go because he had already rented a tux and a limo and everything. And I have one prom picture of myself, you know, the prom dress, crying. My dad still brings it out. It's like tears in this awful prom dress because I didn't want to go. And my mom called my best friend Danny and was like, "Get her ready. She's going to this prom. This poor boy, you know, she's dating somebody else and she's more interested in him. She's going." And so they made me get dressed through tears, go to the prom. And Rob didn't talk to me all night, and we went separately, and it was a horrible, horrible.
How did you ask Katie to prom?
Sent her on a scavenger hunt throughout the school,
And then when she finished, I went back down to her car where I was waiting signs all over her car. Big ladies.
Did you get any help from anybody else, or was it all you doing?
No, I recruited like the entire school.
Did you expect it, Katie?
Not at all. I was having like a really bad day, and I went to my locker, and Emma brought me like a note saying like my first clue to find Eric. And when I went to find Eric, she took me down when I finally found him. So, because I wasn't supposed to find him that fast, I guess. I was just really confused, but I loved it.
Michael, how did you ask somebody to prom?
Alright, so I was thinking of ideas, and I was eating at a Chinese place, and I saw the fortune cookie, and I was like, what if I could get my, how I asked them inside the fortune? And I got a fortune cookie, and like, did a bunch of things, like sealing it and resealing it, and I've ended up making a fortune online, and printed it out and put it in the cookie with tweezers.
Darcy, were you asked to prom, or did you ask somebody to prom?
I asked Mike Lyons to prom last year.
How did you ask him?
He was outside of Miss Mercer's theater class, and I was across the room from my English class. So I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna go as friends. And so I got down on one knee, and I was like, Mike, what's your middle name? I think it wasn't Neil, but he looked like a Neil. Anyway, I was like, Mike Lyons, will you go to prom with me as friends? And he kind of like looked at me, and he was like, and then he just gave me a hug. So I guess that was a yes, because we ended up going to prom together.